Hello students, welcome back to video number 23 in our SmartPLS video series. In video number 22, you can click the link above. We have discussed moderation effects, specifically using categorical variables. However, in this video, we're going to discuss moderation effects as well, but focusing on continuous variables. The video will start by giving you an introduction about the differentiation between categorical and continuous variables, giving you some background information about moderation effects before going into application using SmartPLS to assess our moderation effects, get the results, graph those results, and report them. If you want to know all the details, you've got to stay till the end of the video. Please stay tuned. All right, fellow students. What is continuous variable and how can we differentiate between continuous and categorical variables? In very simple terms, continuous variables are just continuous. However, categorical have fixed units. For instance, gender is a categorical variable. Why? Because in genders, I have two units, either male or female. And those cannot have decimals, cannot have any other values, male or female, two fixed units. However, in case of categorical variables, let me ask this question only. How much milk does a cow make per day? It can do 2 liters of milk, sometimes 2.5, sometimes 2.3. And continuously, this value may change. Over time, this value may change. So this variable is no longer categorical. That's a changing, that's a continuous type of variables. Okay, so how much the result or the milk value is the continuous variable in this context. Another example on continuous variables would be maybe income, maybe age. Age can be continuous because we can have different values of age, and also we can have this decimals in age, 2.5, 20.2, 20.3 years, etc. So these are actually the differences between categorical and continuous variables. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, in the video in which we discussed categorical variables, we have used product indicator and we have used the unstandardized values. We'll come to the SPSS in a bit, to SmartPLS in a bit. Okay, however, in case of categorical variables, and because we may have decimals and we may have different values, we use the mean centric. We'll come to that a bit. Okay, as we get our path coefficients, check for t-statistics to be above 1.96 and to have a p-value around 0, then we will have some moderation effects. We may, at the end, in this context, confirm or reject our hypothesis depending on the results. And in case we have moderation, then we can do the graphing. And once we do the graphing, once we come to reporting into our PhD dissertation or any publication, we have to include both the path coefficients, the value, etc., the standard deviation and the standard error, etc. And we have also to copy paste the graph that we get. Okay, let's move now into SPSS, into SmartPLS, run the moderation, okay, and see what we get. And depending on what we get, we either accept or reject our hypothesis. If we do accept, then we have to do the graphs before reporting our final results. So please stay tuned. Okay, fellow students, let's see. All right. I didn't have age in the data set, and now I got age as a continuous variable that will be considered. Okay, simply I'll just rename this as age. Okay, as a continuous variable, and I will check whether age has a moderating role between perceived usefulness and attitudes towards using. So I have this as an independent variable, and this is as dependent, and this is the moderator variable. Perceived usefulness, independent, attitudes towards using, dependent, age is the moderator variable. Let's see now how we can add a moderating effect here. Simply right-click, add a moderating effect. So attitudes towards using moderator, dependent, age is the moderator, very simple, and the perceived usefulness is the moderation variable. And here, as I mentioned, we have to take mean-centered because I am assessing a continuous variable here, okay, and the product indicator. And now you can check here the product terms generation, when we can use unstandardized or what it means. Unstandardized data, for instance, I used for the calculation of the product terms, etc. Mean-centered. You can refer to further references here. Okay, let's add, I already did that, mean-centered product indicator. I click OK. Okay, and as you notice, we chose product indicator, and this is the same we did with categorical variables. However, in the case of categorical variables, we did not choose mean-centered. We have chosen the unstandardized. Okay, let's see how it goes now. This is the moderating effect. I can simply change the name if I want, and this is perceived usefulness or age on perceived usefulness. Okay, I'd say age perceived usefulness multiplied by attitudes. Okay, towards using. Okay, just simply close. Okay, and simply now what I do, I'm ready to run the bootstraps. I go and bootstraps. Okay, run it 500 samples. Okay, and start calculations. I keep all the settings, advanced settings as default here. Let's see. All right, while processing, I have to say that the higher or the larger the sample size you've got, and maybe the slower your computer is, the more it takes us time to process the bootstrapping function and get you the results. Okay, so this is to note. Okay, we're almost there. All right. So now what we have to check for, once we get the results, we have to go into path coefficients, check for the t-statistics, and the check for as well the p-value. And as we notice here, what we care about is simply moderating effect, p-value, good. T-statistics is not bad, okay? It's a very slight moderating effect, and this is the moderating effect here. Okay, this is what we see here. Okay, and age impact on attitudes towards using, but I don't care about this. My hypothesis should be related to this one right here. Okay, so simply I have a moderation effect here. It may be slight, okay, may not be major. So age plays a role, a moderating role as a continuous variable on the relationship between perceived usefulness and attitudes towards online banking system use. Okay, what we do now? Now I have to report those results. Let me go to my video number, I'd say here, video number 22. I had an Excel sheet. All right, here's the Excel sheet. I simply, all right, I simply can open this Excel sheet, okay? And what I have to do here, I can just simply remove those, okay? Those belong to the prior categorical variable, okay? And go back into SPSS Excel format and simply copy paste whatever I got right here. Very simple. Very simple here. And simply, maybe we did not do it in the other categorical variable. Original sample mean, I wouldn't need that. Okay, I would delete that. I have the standard beta. Okay, and what I care about is this one. All right, mainly this one. Okay, So perceived usefulness, this is the moderating effect, okay? So here I have to report like perceived usefulness, okay? Moderating effect here. So I have to check age, whether it moderates the relationship between perceived usefulness and attitudes towards using. And here we go, we simply copy, okay? Let me go into the path coefficient perceived usefulness, okay? Here's the moderating effect, and I can simply take age towards this one to check, depending on my hypothesis. Okay, however, in my case, my hypothesis is mainly related to the moderating effect, okay? So I would copy the information here. So I have the original sample, that's 0.08, okay? So this is the relationships. I'd say I would take, I can take this one, all right, copy, and this is one. And I can take age, impact on attitudes towards using, okay, simply take it, V, okay, this is copy, and this is V. And simply this is the, as you see, this is the formatting of the table. I may have here H1, hypothesis 1, hypothesis 2, all right. And I would say more perceived usefulness, impact on attitudes towards using, okay, copy as well. And take it as H3 here. Okay, so standard beta, I copy 0.08, 0.008, and I have the other one is minus, okay, minus, okay, minus here, minus 0.214, okay, minus 0.214. And the other one, perceived usefulness on attitudes, that would be 0.018, okay, 0.018. All right, and the standard error is simply this line here. So I simply copy this, copy, and that's the standard error for age, etc. So this one, V, for the moderating effect is 0.004. And for the perceived usefulness towards this one, 0.028, 0.028. Okay, t-value, I simply copy the t-value as long as the t-value is above 1.96, but this one is not, is pretty close, but not above 1.96. All right. So simply but I have a good p-value. P-value is, let me see, the p-value here for the moderating effect is pretty close, green. Okay, so I would accept the hypothesis here. All right, hypothesis is accepted. I simply copy my t-values. I accept the hypothesis. Now we come to the confidence intervals. Okay, how do I get them? Go to the confidence intervals, and simply I can also Excel format and put them right here, V, okay, okay, and simply I would copy the values. For instance, for age, I have those two, copy for age towards attitudes towards using, so simply that would be this one, V, all right, and those have to go in between simply the values here that we get here. Okay, so this one would be smaller, all right, and this one as well would be smaller. Okay, all right, then we can as well do it for the moderating effect here, and simply take those confidence intervals. This is copy, and this is paste right here. Okay, okay, V. Okay, these are this is the reporting of my findings in regards to the moderating effect or moderating role of age considering perceived usefulness and attitudes towards using. All right. So now I did my reporting. What I do when I finish my table here and I accept my hypothesis, for instance, okay, after I copy my t-values, I simply can copy this table into my Word document and label it. And also, if I want to add any discussion of the results, I can add it and report it in my PhD thesis or in my publications. Okay, so now we have a moderation effect. It is slight, but we got a moderation effect. Now what we'll do is graphing this moderation effect. So please stay tuned. All right, so now I have the results here. I have some moderation, okay? And as you notice, if we take the moderating effect or the interaction effect, we see that the standard beta here falls between the 5% confidence interval or the lower limit and the upper limit. All right, then, now we can do the graphing. Okay, as I did in the prior video, simply we have a function that we can download from Jeremy Dawson, okay, Jeremy Dawson website, okay. Here is the website, and simply which one would I take? In this case, this one, the two-way linear interaction, okay? Two-way linear interaction function. I already downloaded the Excel sheet here. Let me just go to the Excel sheet, all right, and open it, okay? Moderation, and this is the Excel sheet right here, okay? Okay, then, now, I wouldn't worry about those belonging to the prior video. What I have here, I would just copy the information here, Excel format, and simply paste, cancel, all right, paste the new information belonging to the continuous variable. The name of the independent variable is perceived usefulness, and this is still the same, okay? Moderator now is H, okay? H, okay, and the dependent variable is the attitudes towards using, okay. Simply now for the interaction effect, for the moderator, for the independent variable, I'll take the relationship between perceived usefulness and attitudes towards using, which is, I would just remove the sample mean, and I would take this one, perceived usefulness, attitudes towards using, so 0.018, 0.018. The moderator is, or the moderator, as you see, as I input the data, I simply go into changes in the graphs that we have, okay? This is the dependent variable, and this is the independent variable here. Can simply, I'm not sure how we can change the name here, but we can simply change the name. For the dependent variable, I can put attitudes towards using simply by clicking and typing. All right, I may leave it for you here. All right, so the moderator would be the age versus attitudes towards using. This is the first one, that's negative, minus 0.214. All right, so minus 0.214. Okay. And the last one is the interaction would be 0.008. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if the graph shows here any interaction. It seems like the interaction is not very reflective on the graph here, okay, because 0.08, 0.008, 0.214, and I got also the independent variable, that's perceived usefulness relationship, so 0.018. So I'm not seeing, like, I can't read on the graph here very clear moderation effect in regards to age impacting the perceived usefulness of the attitudes towards using. And this was actually clear here. We may, if we want to consider here the p-value is actually higher than 0.00, but it's very close. It is highlighted in green, means accepted, that these statistics would be preferably higher than 1.96. So the chart as a result, or the graph as a result, does not depict a very clear moderation effects. It is very, very slight. Okay, I'm not sure. Hey, you may need to refer to some maybe references or sources in order to support your decision in whether to accept or reject the hypotheses that you have in this regards. So as you know, you see, my fellow students, in this video we have addressed continuous variables and how to check or assess their moderation effects in SmartPLS. We have differentiated among these two variables or between these two, and I have provided you with some background information before doing an application on how to add the moderator variable and run the bootstrapping function in order to come up with the results, report them, and graph them. Okay. Please stay tuned. In the coming video, actually, I'm planning to discuss the multi-group analysis in SmartPLS. Like our videos, share them with your friends and students, and always subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon in order to receive notifications about newly uploaded videos. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye for now.